right, this is black to move. And this is, by the way, a very strong Grandmaster Sadler. I have reviewed many of his games. Very strong, very, very strong Grandmaster. Right, let me see if there's any tips or anything for us. He's watching the stream and he says that he has never heard of you either, so, nah, just kidding. All right, so here we have, white is on the defensive, under pressure on the D file, B file, the A5, E1 diagonal, we have the file, we have the queen already on B3. However, in order to exploit this initiative, the black pieces must step up the pace. How did he do this using positionally oriented means? Okay, find the best positional move to continue to add pressure. Black pieces have to be better. Indeed, the queen occupied a weak square. This pawn is gone, this pawn is gone. My pieces are more active, but then how do we continue? Oh, let me put the timer back to 5 minutes. I think I got an idea. I think I do have an idea already. If it is what I think it is, guys, this is straight out of lesson Karpovian style. I want to say lesson 107. Always the tactics come in. I'm thinking if I could do something like this and then bishop c3 and I collect on b1. Like if this were a rook takes, bishop c3 and then I collect, but Okay. Well, think about this. If you were playing this in a game, you get to this position, what would you play, right? So, okay, I couldn't find anything great, but I have to make a move. What would you play? Well, you told me queen c2, right? Alright, guys, let me tell you what I think I got. And then we got 20 more seconds. Those of you who are joining now, this is about positional chess. We study a lot of tactics, but positional chess requires the same attention. We need to get familiarized with these ideas over and over and over, just like we do with forks and pins and skewers, until they become natural. So look, on lesson 107, we talked about the Karpovian style. And one of the things that we learned from Karpov is that whenever we don't know what to do, we gotta ask ourselves, which of our pieces can we improve? What's wrong with queen c2? No, it's just that queen c2, we know they could just play bishop e3 and we don't really get anything out of it. Queen takes, knight takes, I don't really think we improved anything. Now, going back to what I was saying, I'm playing this position in the game. I evaluate the position, I know that I'm better, but I don't know what to do. I gotta ask myself, which of my pieces can I improve? In this case, rook is as good as it could be. So is the bishop, so is the queen. Queen, again, on a weak square. They don't have the light square bishop. So the only piece that is doing nothing is the knight. So you mentioned before knight h5 because you want to get to f4, but they played g3. So instead, I asked myself, which of my pieces can I improve? The knight. Now the next question is, if that knight were floating in the air and you could put it on any empty square right now, where would you put it? Well, I don't know about you guys, but I want it on d4. Outpost, no one can kick me out. So all I need to know is, or find out is, how do I get to d4? On lesson 52, we talked about this. Let me see. So think of your next move now that you have that information. Okay, look, guys, if you're new to the channel, on the YouTube channel, lesson 52 is all about this. And I explain how do we find the route. I'm thinking, to get to d4, I need to be on e6. To get to e6, I need to be on f8 or on c7. To be on f8, I need to be on h7. So I'm thinking knight h7, knight f8, knight e6, knight d4. 4 moves, well, 98? Yeah, 98 too, 98 as well. Yes, it seems like a little bit slow, but what could the white pieces do about it, right? So this is what I think it is. I'm gonna look in the book now and we'll see, but this is what I'll play in the game. I don't see anything that I need to be concerned about. c4 is good too, no? c4? You mean f4? The problem with f, typically on lesson 51, when we learned the check peers, we talked about that. The knight going to f4 as well, but here it has to be d4. It has to be d4. Yeah, that's a good question. Now, let me take a look at this. Let me see. Where are you, Sadler? Okay, let me see. Okay, so it says Black's knight is not contributing at the moment, so we'll be searching for the most appropriate entry point, and entry point is going to be d4. Now, what did you do, man? Tell me that you did. No. He played 98. Get out of here. Now, I think it's the same thing. You have two ways to get there. And then bishop e1, knight c7, bishop e2, knight e6. Yeah, 98, knight c7, that's exactly what they did. Now, after bishop e1, knight c7, rook c1. Hold on, wait. Rook c1, knight e6, queen c2. And then they're giving here, just to give you an example, if they had played bishop f2, because this is logical. If I know my opponent is coming to d4 with a knight, well, I want to control that. In an ideal world, I'll be leaving my opponent with a light square bishop. That way the bishop could never kick me out. But it is what it is. So they're giving, if bishop f2, then the knight goes to f4. You see, the bishop is not here anymore. So we have two very attractive squares. And from there, the knight goes to d3. Now, notice how that knight was doing nothing on f6, and we found the route, we found the right route to improve the knight. And guys, again, you're playing a game, you don't know what to do, ask yourself, which of my pieces can I improve? And that's typically it's gonna lead you in the right direction. So this is the variation after knight f4, we got queen c2, and then after bishop c3, I'm entering to the 7th rank. That's it, game over. And again, all because of the knight. Also, there's some ideas with the fork, all because of the knight that was doing nothing. So I'm not gonna make you do it, but my students, when we're doing this in training, I have them from here, visualize it again. Imagine the knight, maneuver to e6 and then to d4. So let me take a look with the engine to see what the engine says. Haha, okay, I gotta show this to Adler. Where is it? Look at this. The engine says 97, my move is the top move. 98 is the second best move. 97. So, nah. Of course, it doesn't make a difference. I just wanted to test it or to check it out to make sure that there's nothing wrong with 97. So it's all about finding the idea. What book is this? So last week, we're doing this every week. Last week, we used a different book, but today we're using this one. Which, by the way, is pretty cool because it's like a test. So they give you positions. Let me show you. And then you're getting a score if you get them right or wrong. At the end, they tell you how many points you get per exercise. And then at the end of the book or at the end of the section, you get how many, your qualification, right? Not qualification. You get your grade, I guess. Okay, yeah, it looks cooler. That's what I say, but no one believed me. All right, guys, next one. And let me turn off the engine. And we're going to this one. Okay, black pieces to move. Don't forget, if I don't say anything, look at the orientation. We're looking at it from black's perspective. Timer back to 5 minutes. And we'll see what we get.